Everywhere you look, there is corn. From the caring hands of our farmers to the processing units, from the supermarkets to our home, corn has 1,000 uses. That is why world market demand for corn is continuously increasing. The major uses of corn in the domestic and international markets are mainly for feed formulation and industrial processing. Corn is the major ingredient in livestock feed. Livestock feed is composed mainly of about 50 to 60% of mixed corn. Direct use of corn as food or food products is also significant. This video intends to enumerate parts of a corn kernel, explain kinds of corn according to structure, and discuss corn processing and its uses. A corn kernel has three parts. The endosperm is the source of energy and protein for the germinating seed. It is about 82% of the kernel's dry weight. The embryo, or germ, is the only living part of the corn kernel. It contains the essential genetic information, enzymes, vitamins, and minerals. About 25% of the germ is corn oil. On the other hand, the pericarp, also known as hull, is the outer covering of the kernel that protects it from deterioration. The tip cap is the only area of the kernel not covered by the pericarp. It is the attachment point of the kernel to the cob. The commercially important cultivars can be grouped into types that define their uses. Dent corn, also called field corn, contains both hard and soft starchy endosperm at the crown of the seed that slightly collapse when mature and dried. It is used to make animal feed, food, and industrial products. Flint corn has hard, rounded, or short and flat kernels. Kernels have soft and starchy endosperm completely enclosed by a hard, vitreous outer layer. This is excellent for dry milling use, for ethanol production, and for other food, feed, and industrial uses. On the other hand, cornstarch made from dent or flint is used for food thickening. Cereals are from dent and flint corn. Kernels of waxy corn have glossy and waxy appearance when cut. It is used to make a uniquely Filipino food item called cornic. Waxy corn could also be harvested at the same growth stage as sweet corn. Therefore, it could also be used as green corn. Sweet or green corn is eaten fresh, canned, or frozen. It is characterized by a high percentage of sugar in the milk stage of the kernel. Popcorn has small ears and small rounded or pointed kernels. Kernels have hard corneous endosperm. When exposed to heat, these kernels will pop due to explosion of the moisture trapped inside the kernel. Each kernel will form a white starchy mass many times bigger than the size of the original kernel. After presenting to you the different kinds of corn, let's discuss its processing. There are two general ways of processing corn: the wet milling and dry milling. Wet milling process separates corn into chemical constituents such as starch, protein, and oil. Starch is the primary product from wet milling. Do you know that starch is one of the ingredients of many ready-to-eat food items? Starch is also the substrate in making sweeteners such as high fructose corn syrup and glucose syrup. Several products in our supermarket have both regular and specially modified starches. Noodles, juice, candies, and soft drinks are some of these examples. Starch is also in paper manufacturing and substrate of fermentation to produce ethanol, organic acid, industrial solvents, and amino acids. Cornstarch is now also being used as substrate for bihon production, which is originally produced from rice. Bihon guisado is one of the Philippines' most consumed snack food product. Another co-product of corn milling is oil. In frying your favorite food, what oil are you using? If you haven't tried corn oil, try it and you will know the difference. Corn oil has excellent frying quality. It does not develop off flavors, and so it has a pleasant taste. It also offers high level of polyunsaturated fats. That is why it can lower blood cholesterol levels. Another co-product of corn wet milling is protein. The protein fraction goes into the gluten meal, gluten feed, germ, and steep water that are important feed components for poultry, swine, and cattle. This is the major use of corn in our country. If you're still not convinced on the importance of corn in our industry, wait till you hear of and watch the dry milling process. Dry milling involves grinding of the whole kernel into different sieve size fractions for different food and feed uses. The germ of the kernel may be removed first before dry milling. The germ could be used for oil extraction. Corn flakes, corn snacks, brewed alcoholic beverages, and flour are some of the food products which could be derived from the degermed and ground kernel. Non-food products such as plywood, gypsum board, biodegradable plastics, and enzymes may also be produced from dry milled corn. Dry milled corn is also used as substrate in the fermentation of various chemicals. Our tortillas, corn chips, taco shells, and tortilla chips. Our local product, known as binatog, is also made through alkali processing. The corn is cooked and steeped in lime solution to physically soften the kernel. After the pericarp has been removed, it is boiled to make binatog. Now let us talk about the nutritional attributes of corn. Generally, yellow foods are a good source of beta-carotene, a precursor of vitamin A. Yellow corn is a rich source of carotenoids that protect our vision, help maintain our immune system, promote healthy skin, and inhibit the growth of cancer cells. Corn oil, because of its high levels of polyunsaturated fatty acids, was found to be effective in lowering blood cholesterol levels. Studies have shown that corn grits, cakes, and noodles made from corn with 25 to 30% amylose have low to intermediate glycemic index or GI factors. Do you know that low GI food provides benefits not only for diabetics but also for healthy individuals? Low GI food modulates the release of glucose in the blood. Slower digestion helps to delay hunger and promote weight loss in overweight people. It also provides slow release of fuel to exercising muscles for sustained energy level and endurance. So corn farmers, be proud. You play a very important role. Without your effort, there would be no corn in our tables. Bihon will not be as good as we have now. Ready-to-eat food would be limited. Animal feeds would not be that nutritious. Now, can you imagine modern life without corn?